philosophy as a part of the saga of the soul, and we have completed so many philosophies, and this is the last philosophy, that is Vedanta. And the Vedanta is having another three schools. One is Dvaita, Vishishtadvaita, and Advaita. So we will be discussing the Dvaita. As because we will be discussing the Dvaita philosophy, let us chant from here from the Vishnu Sahasranama. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Maruta Stunnanti Divyaistavai Vedai Sangha Padakramopanishadai Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanabhastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam Nabidu Suragana Devaya Tasmai Namaha. This is the wonderful explanation where Brahma, Varuna, Indra, Maruta, all the Vedic gods, they are praising. And not only that, the Vedas are singing the glory of this. Who is it? And the yogis, in their meditation, they are trying to visualize, trying to realize this Atman, that dhyana bastita tad gatena manasha pashyanti yam yogina. The yogis, they are trying to visualize this particular concept. And now they say, Yasyantam, whose end. Na bidu, no one knows. Even the devas and the asuras, no one knows. Tasmai Namaha, I offer my pranam to him, to that particular reality which is beyond the expression. So we are beginning with this. This is the one concept of Hinduism. Again, we will come back to the same, and when we conclude according to the Madhva. This Madhva, we know that Dvaita Vedanta Darshan of Madhvacharya, all Indian systems of philosophy, they always follow the four steps. What are the four steps? First is the pramana, that means of knowledge. Now somebody came and said, and we are following, it is not there in the Indian philosophy. It is always, I have to prove, I must see, I must check, I must examine. So that is first is called pramana. In Sanskrit word, pramana means valid experiment and the result, the knowledge. So pramana means of knowledge. And second come prameya. What is to be ascertained by this knowledge? So pramana is the system. Prameya is the goal. Now, today morning I saw the smoke is coming from there. Usually in this country, they do not burn even the dry leaves and in that way. But suddenly too much of smoke. Why? Then I went to that window and saw the person is burning a lot of dry things. So the first is the pramana, that I could see it, the smoke, and my experience says when the smoke is there, there must be fire. Then what is that? I went and saw prameya, the pramana and prameya. Then the sadhana, the practices, the process to get this. I saw from this window, then I went to the other window to get the proper view, to get the clear idea, sadhana, activity, effort. So that is the first is the pramana. This is very, very important. Prameya, I must fix up what I am going to see. Prameya. And now suppose I like to see a star in the sky. And now as a sadhana, I sit over here, close my eyes, and always say, come star, I like to see you. Is it possible? So naturally the sadhana, that should be properly guided. What is the process that I should use? So that is very, very important. And finally, why I am doing all these things? What is the philosophy? Why I should practice all these, the lakshya? What I am going to achieve? Very practical. These 4 steps are followed by each and every philosophy of India. First is the pramana, the system of valid knowledge. Then the prameya, my particular object which I am going to know. Then the process by which I am going to know. And finally, what I am getting after that. Millions of researches are going on and trillions of money they are spending. But do you think all the result that is coming they are utilizing? No. Just going on doing, suppose something beneficial, they will utilize that much. So this way it goes on, and in the Dvaita Vedanta philosophy is based on Prasthanatraya. You know, I am giving you once again the basic. Those who are regularly attending this class, you know, this is the Prasthanatraya. Prasthana means exit, Traya means 3. There are 3 doors of exit. What is the doors? What are the doors? Doors means going out of this circle of birth and death. Who will go through that? Those who will feel that now it is time for me to go out of this place. Enough is enough. So they sit over there and then they think. So this is the Prasthana, and this Prasthanatraya is the base of all Vedanta philosophy, and mostly the Hindu philosophy we can say. What is the Prasthanatraya? The 3 great scripture. First is the Upanishad. That is called Vedanta. Upanishad is the knowledge part of the Veda. Veda means knowledge, and the knowledge part, spiritual knowledge part, is the Upanishad. Then Brahma Sutra is systematic approach to that knowledge. Isavasamidam sarvam yat kincha jagatyam jagat. In the Isha Upanishad it says. But who is this Isha, and why it is pervading? How it is pervading the whole universe? How it is possible? So all this systematically, when they are mentioning, that is called Brahma Sutra. Brahma, that is the name has been given to that consciousness which is all pervading. And the sutra, in a very aphorism, small aphorism, the idea about that. And then he is profusely quoting from the Upanishad. This Upanishad is telling like this, that Upanishad is telling like that. So how this universe came, that Brahman, that consciousness just thought. Now even today, the science is thinking about the Big Bang theory, creation. Why? That is very important. How this creation came, who created it, what is the relation between the creation and the creator? That is very important. Philosophy is also trying to get that, and Vedanta comes to this conclusion that it is consciousness which is all pervading, at the same time all powerful. And just it thinks, as if thinks, everything comes up. So that is the explanation, whether you accept it or not, but this is the way they say, this is the explanation. This Brahman. So the Brahma Sutra, that was given in 555 verses. The Vyadarayana, this is a great scholar, he wrote that. And at the same time, Bhagavad Gita, the Avatara, the God's incarnation, he explained that in a very simple manner in 700 sloka. And he actually guided how we should practice. Brahma Sutra explained, but the Gita guided us how to practice this. So that is called, now he accept this, now the Brahma Sutra over here we find Vyadarayana philosophy. He is also giving a philosophy. What is that philosophy? He said he accepted only one pramana. There is no others. In the philosophy, always the pramana is very important. How you are going to explain. I saw over there a tiger. Now you have to explain how in this country, suddenly over here in the city, a tiger can come. You have to explain in that way. So that's called pramana, the explanation of the knowledge. Here, Vyasa, he only accepted Veda and no other pramana. I see it, but I don't believe. I touch it, I don't believe. Is it there in the Veda? Then only I will believe. So that is the way the Vyasa explained. This is very interesting. So this is the Jnana Kanda, Jnana part of the Shruti. You know, the Veda is also known as the Shruti because the hearing. According to Veda or the Shruti, Brahman is the origin of the universe, the only truth. It is both the material and the efficient cause of the world. We all know anything that is created, we need two. One is efficient cause, another material cause. Since it is Brahman that has evolved into this world, obviously this world is non-different from Brahman. Now if this wood has created this table, a wooden table, suppose the wood has created this wooden table, that means what? That means the creator and the creation are the same. Now when we say the Brahman, the consciousness has created this universe, that means everything that we see in different manifestation is consciousness. Now suppose, forget about the person who is a confectioner, he is preparing the sweet dishes, and from the same milk he is preparing that, and he is giving different shapes. And the children, when they go to purchase, they see, oh, this is the elephant, I like to purchase the elephant. And the brother says, no, I like tiger. Someone says, no, the bird, but same sweet only, in different form and shapes. When they eat the same thing, same taste, the elephant is not tasting separate. So similarly, when this universe has been created by Brahman, the consciousness, each and everything is nothing but that consciousness. That is the conclusion of the Vyadarayana. Now, what is the Jiva? Now he says Ga, J-N-A, Ga. What is that Ga? Ga means knower, a being endowed with consciousness. This is important. Now this has also been created by God. The stone and each and everything that we see, but the best creation of God is this being who can understand, who can judge. That consciousness is there to judge. So if a person is bereft of consciousness or discriminative faculty, he cannot be considered as a human being. It's just like a robot. One person came and told, hey, you are all belong to this group, so take up the arms and go and fight with them, and all they run. Are they human being? They don't have thinking. Why shall I go? Somebody came and told, you wrap this one, the bomb in your body, go and kill yourself over there and kill as maximum innocent people. They goes and in the children park, they kill thousands of children. And why? Now you will go to heaven. You have to ask that man, how by killing the innocent people I can go to heaven? And if that is so easy to go to, the easy process to go to heaven, where you are waiting, you go first. They don't use the brain. They are not human beings. The Vedanta do not consider them as human being. Human being is he who is all the time applying his own consciousness. So that is the important, and the Vyadarayana say it is gone. That means the knower. He wants to know. By meditation on Brahman, and in Sanskrit they say Jnana Abhyasa. The Jnana Abhyasa, meditating on Brahman constantly. If this is all consciousness, I am also consciousness. So I have to find out that way they meditate. Jiva gets liberation. By that, his Sanchita karma. Now he is mentioning, the Hinduism always believe in the karma theory, and there are three: Sanchita, Prarabdha, and Agami. Agami means the karma, the work that we are going to get the result of it. That's called Agami, future. At this moment I have done something. I was reading, is nowadays I don't know if you could read, in a beautiful way they are explaining, those who can read the Bengali, every Sunday in Anandabaja Sunday, that supplement, they are mentioning the cases that was unique cases. So of murder, these, that. And there was a Bonik family, and they killed their 18 years, 19 years, the daughter-in-law, just because the gentleman and her husband, they were not happy with her father. So they killed this lady. This is terrible. Yesterday night I couldn't sleep. I should not have read that. But that was so, the way the gentleman in the police department, I do not know who is writing. It's an excellent way he explained everything. And then finally, it goes to, because they are very fabulously rich people, they went to the Supreme Court, something they did, and in the Supreme Court they said, no, it is only 12 years imprisonment. And the cruelty, unbelievable. So this should have been the life, the sentence was death and all that, but we immediately go for the compassion. Oh no, we should not kill, we abolish the killing. Now we have to understand what we should do. People like this, who can, and not only that, all the daughters they were helping, the wife was helping, the mother was helping. Can you imagine? In a huge building, and they are so rich just because. So that cruelty, they never should be considered as a human being. They should be considered in a different way. And no sympathy. Strict rule should be there. And now, whatever, now they are still living maybe somewhere. And that lady, young lady, she died. So why? Because the karma. Now, the question is, they got freedom from the Supreme Court. But really? No, because the karma. Because the bad karma that they have done, they will have to suffer somewhere in some life, for sure. This is the Veda Vyasa is telling, and down to Swami Vivekananda, good, good, bad, bad, none can skip the law. So this is what is the Veda Vyasa says. Now, if you are constantly thinking of the consciousness, you can burn, you can reduce your prarabdha karma, the work that you have already started. The result of the work previously done, now you can reduce it. And secondly, you can stop the agami. And sanchita will never work. That is the special way one can stop the flow of karma and can get the liberation. After the death, Jiva becomes one with Brahman. Now, Brahman is both pure consciousness without any attribute, Nirvishesha Chinmatra Sarupa. Again, with the attribute, Swavishesha. Vishesha means attributes. He is powerful, he is all pervading, he is compassionate. All these things is the attributes. So, with attribute and without attribute. Badarana did not clarify, is Jiva the part of that consciousness or the reflection of that consciousness? It is a part or the reflection. And the relationship between the Jiva and the Brahman, he didn't disclose. The Badarana work and philosophy attracted the great scholars. They critically examined and tried to establish their own school of Vedanta. And from here only the three different schools are coming. There are as many as 12 schools, and they have not included Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Otherwise, it will be 13 schools. We will discuss only about the three main schools founded by Shankaracharya. Acharya means teacher. They are not avatar. There is a teacher. And this Acharya, Shankaracharya, he is from 788 to 820 AD. After the Jesus, so he came and he founded Advaita Vedanta. Vedanta is common, but his name is Advaita. There is no two, there is only one. Then came Ramanuja Acharya, Ramanujacharya. He is 1017 to 1127. Is Vishishta Advaita. As a qualified monism, first monism, qualified monism, and Madhvacharya, completely different. And he said, he came much afterwards, 1238 to 1317, that is his lifespan, life period, and he founded Dvaita Advaita. This Dvaita Vedanta, that is his. And now, if we go through, we are not going to in details, you will find either he was influenced by the Christianity or all other Dvaitin schools are influenced by him. But as because the Christianity was already there and maybe some of the thoughts percolated and he accepted, it may be. He was born in a Pajaka near the Udupi. Pajaka is a very remote village. Udupi is the city and town is a coastal Malabar and Karnataka. I don't know whether you have visited or not. A beautiful place. This is a very beautiful place, coastal Malabar. It is in Karnataka. His father was Madhya Geha and the mother Vedanti. Her name was Vedanti. Their family religion was Vaishnavism. His first name was Vasudeva. Later, he was known in three different names. One is Purna Pragya, another Ananda Tirtha, and Madhvacharya. That became famous afterwards, Madhvacharya. Madhva began his school at the age of 7 years and became a monk in his teen. He joined the Advaita Vedanta school in Dwarka, Gujarat, and his teacher was Achyuta Pragya. And then he could not accept the idea that the Jiva and Brahman are one, because basically he was from the Vaishnava. So obviously from the birth itself he was two different ideas were there that they could not accept. He could not accept it. So he left. He started his own school and the school was Tattva Veda. This Tattva Veda or Bada, we can say Tattva Bada, here this Madhvacharya proclaimed that he was the incarnation of Vayu, the son of the Vishnu. He also claimed that his explanation in the Bhashya on Brahma Sutra was the product of his direct knowledge from the Vishnu. The Vishnu, the God, and from that Vishnu, a direct conversation he is claiming, and then only he could write the Bhashya. Contradicting the Shankara's Advaita Vedanta and Ramanuja's Vishishta Dvaita, Madhva established his Dvaita school, commonly known as Dvaita Vada. Vada means the theory. So, Dvaita Vada. Now, he said, epistemology, that is the basic of all philosophy, is a anupramana. His terminology was anupramana. According to Madhva, he accepted 3 pramanas only. What is that? The means of revelation of the object as it is, and also the data that is revealed. What is that? Pratyaksha is direct perception. A pratyaksha, each and every one is accepting as a pratyaksha. Why? Now I am touching this book, I am feeling it, seeing it. So obviously I cannot simply deny it. So pratyaksha obviously is a valid reason and source of knowledge, pratyaksha. But there are many other things are also there. I am in the dark when I am touching a book. I am thinking something else, it may be. I am touching, getting the knowledge, but at the same time, is a wrong knowledge. Even by touching, even by seeing, even by tasting. And sometimes some people will ask you after cooking, can you say out of which it has been made, what is the ingredients? Maybe you will make the mistake. You are testing, but you cannot say properly. So these are the things we have to understand. The pratyaksha may deviate us, may give us wrong knowledge. It cannot be as it is. But he says pratyaksha is the only. As the Vedabhyasa is only the Veda, whatever it said. And the Madhvacharya, pratyaksha is the most important. He also, he says there is no mithya, illusion. I don't believe it. When I see, when I feel hungry, when I pinch and I feel pain, how can I say it is mithya? It is not possible. So that is a state of mind. So that cannot be the mithya. Now, as an example, we can say, I am not refuting this moment when we will be discussing the Vedanta of Shankaracharya. We will discuss about this refuting all these points. Now, suppose I was a young boy and I liked the kites. All the time when I am reading, even from that time also, from the window I used to see who is flying the kite. That is common. Now I am not interested. That was so close to my heart. Now the same thing has no impression on me. Why? Because of the experience. So they say the Madhva, though he is telling like this, but in reality it changes. So Madhva, and then inference, Anumana. As we say Anumana, what is that Anumana? We can, most of the students of philosophy, they know Anumana is a great pramana, because when a person is coming, I can say, oh, he belongs to India. Why? This is Anumana, I am just inference. But his feature, his way of talking, the language he is using, that must be. When you ask him, are you in India? No, I am from South Africa. So Anumana may also be the mistake. A couple, the devotees, they came from South Africa, just like Indian. So when we talk to them, they say, no, we are not, we are from South Africa. Now, a group of people from Bangladesh, just like other Bengalis. But when you tell them, are you from India? No, we are from Bangladesh. We are proud that we are Bangladeshis. So we see, we think, but that may be a mistake. So obviously, so that is Anumana. Also we cannot say, this is the perfect knowledge. And then Shabda, the scripture. And different scriptures they say in different way. This is very powerful thing. You know, all this problem that is happening over here because of the theology. The Shabda, the word, has been used in some of the philosophy, some of the scripture. The great founder, he said something, and now they are explaining in a totally different way. That's called theology. How I am explaining it, that is the problem. So this is the main thing. Now here it says, what scripture the Veda said about God? See, the scripture in the Veda, we always find two different types. This is a specialty of Hinduism. The moment you say this is the only Hindu, you are making a mistake. Because in the Veda, and that too in the Rig Veda, the most ancient Veda, the God is conceived in two aspects. The God pervades the world, but he is not exhausted in the world. He is creating this universe, but not exhausted by that. He is beyond it. God is immanent and God is transcendent. I can see God over here, at the same time, I don't find him. So that is called immanent and transcendent. That is the aspect. We are the Hindus, Vedantin, but we are not behaving or practicing everything like the Hindu temple people. Why? We are Hindus, but whenever anyone is coming to give something, do you like to say anything? No. So there is something that they are bringing to offer to God. We say, keep it over here. But if you take it to the Hindu temple, immediately they will offer, and then they will do the arati, and they will give you the prasad. They are doing immediately, all the time. So the difference is there. Why? Because transcendent and immanent aspect of God. We believe in the transcendent aspect, they believe in the immanent aspect, but both together, Hinduism. So that it says, Dve Bhava Brahmano Rupe is a great philosophy in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. All the Hindu teachers, they will study the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. It's a great forest of words, of ideas, ideals, ideologies. That Brihat is big, huge. Aranyaka means the forest, forest of knowledge. So Brihad Aranyaka Upanishad. And why Upanishad? That knowledge will help you to go near to the truth. Upa means near. So ni, surely, certainly, sad, to that truth that never changes. So this is the knowledge we'll take. Now the thing is, how you are explaining it. Dve bhava, there are two different bhava having the system Brahmano Rupe. In the Brahman, which is consciousness, it is having two different ideas. So how you, now one, that is called, in the Rig Veda, very famous Sukta. Sukta means that in a poetical form they mention the truth. One is Purusha Sukta, most of you don't know. Sahasra Shirsha Purushaha Sahasraksha Sahasrapat Sabhumim Vishyatu Vritva. All the Brahmins, even if you go to the Vedic schools in the northern part of India, all the children, they will be chanting like this. The one hand they are having the book, and another hand they will go like this. So that is the way they do, because they have to keep the rhythm. Sahasra Sirsha Purusha Sahasraksha Sahasrapat, the up and down and the equal, they go. That is the way they teach. So I was thinking, if a group of people they come, give some time, I like to teach and make a group. So in our programs, they can go and present that. But we are very far and it is very difficult for people to come. Let us see. And now this is the Purusha Sukta. What is that? The cosmic person had 1,000 heads. That means immeasurable heads. All that you see is his heads. and 1,000 eyes, 1,000 hands, and 1,000 feet. He covered the earth on all sides, and then again stretched 10 fingers length beyond it. 10 fingers like this, if you go, then 10 fingers as if. And now if you count in 10 fingers, not like that, is beyond it. It is creating. Everything that you see is nothing but the same God. And that's why Swami Vivekananda, based on this truth, he said, service to man is service to God. How could he say that? How the human being can be God? Vivekananda said from here, service to man is service to God, because on this basis. So this is called Purusha Sukta. Now in the Rig Veda, Purusha Sukta, that means God has a personal form. So they are drawing in that way a huge person. Now in the September, I think 22nd, 24th, that weekend, I will be giving a retreat on Vaishnavism. So I will try to explain in more clearly how the Vaishnavism came. The very interesting subject. In Hinduism, there are three main paths: Vedanta, Vedika, another is Tantra, there is Shakti, power, and then come Vaishnava. So from the Vishnu. So this is the Vaishnava. Now the thing, suddenly they say, you have not heard that in the Rig Veda, there is a huge person who is having 1,000 heads, 1,000 hands. That is the personification of God. God has taken a form, and that form is this. But again, according to the Western theology, they say this concept is known as the panentheism. Panentheism. And that means all is in God, but all is not God. You cannot say all are God, all is in God, but that is not. Now they give the example, in a huge building, owner is different, but so many tenants are there, they are living over there, and they say, this is our building, this is my apartment. They say like that. But that building doesn't belong to him. Owner is different. Similarly, God is different. But God, in God's creation, you are all there. So panentheism. But we say no, it is pantheism. Each and everything is nothing but the manifestation of God. So these are the two differences. Panentheism, only En, this is the difference. And the great philosophy, they are fighting thousands of years. And over these, then they say again, those who are pantheism without En, they say why? In the Rig Veda, there is another Sukta, there is another passage is there, very wonderful passage and very important passage. What they say? Nasadya Sukta. One is Purusha Sukta, another is Nasadya Sukta. Some people, they say, we like to understand Hinduism. It will take few lives. Then you have to continue to study. It is so difficult. So vast it is. Purusha Sukta, that gives the personification of God. Nasadya Sukta, what it says? In the Sukta it says, na sat, na asat. It is not truth that it is existing. And you cannot say that it is not existing. So obviously, what is it? Asti iti. It is there. But you cannot say this is the only thing. You cannot say it is not the only thing. Then what should I say? Asti. It is. So whoever feels, that is the realization. Vivekananda, that's why he said, religion is realization. Just reading few books and mugging up or remembering some of the passages, you cannot become the religious person. You have to realize the truth. So here it says, in the Sukta it says, there was nothing, neither what is, and nor what is not. There was no sky nor the heaven which is beyond. And the Shukta concludes, he from whom this creation arose, whether he made it or did not make it, the highest seer in the highest heaven, he forsooth knows, or does not even he know? So, you cannot conclude. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he said, Ishwarer iti kora jaya na. In Bengali he said. Iti means conclusion. The God is like this only, and there is no other God. Sometimes some people, even the Hindus, they will say, this is the only God, and there cannot be any God. So they are concluding. So it is for them, it is okay, but that is not the truth. So no conclusion, you cannot, because it's so vast, even beyond the Veda. That's why the Nasadya Sukta. So we can conclude here with this idea. There is a creator, that is sure. Everyone is accepting there is a creator. And the creator, the ultimate reality, may be a person. The creator means the ultimate reality. Maybe a person. Maybe that he is creating as we do, the human being. Again, the creator, the ultimate reality, is transcendent. It may be both. A time came when people started criticizing the Hindus. Even today they say, how come you worship the God in the picture? How is it possible the God is entering into an image? There's a lot of confusion. And great many people and the great souls like the Madhusudan Datta and the Reverend Krishna Mohan Banerjee, they were great scholars. They converted themselves into Christianity and not understanding what is Hinduism. That was the condition. And Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna came and he told, what is the problem? The water under the sunlight, warm sunlight, it is liquid, it is water. It is a symbol of no form. And then the same water, when the cool breeze comes, under the touch of the cool breeze, it takes the shape as a snow, as a form. It is just like that. When you are discriminating in the path of knowledge, there is no form of God. But with devotion, when you are crying and you are meditating on a God takes the form. And then it was said, Bhaktanam anukampartham Brahmana rupakalpana. Brahman is all pervading. But the kalpana is like this. The story goes, the Krishna with his the divine consort, they were sitting. Suddenly Hanumana approached. Hanumana was coming. This is the story. And from the distance the Krishna saw and immediately told that, Lakshmi, you change your form into Sita. We go, why? He knows that I am the same power. Sometimes he say, no, that is okay. But Hanumana wants to see only Rama and Sita. The God transformed him as a Rama and the consort became Sita. Hanumana came, he was very happy. So that goes in this way only, and that is called Ishta Devata. Ishta means chosen ideal. Sri Ramakrishna giving another example. When a newlywed, that lady coming to the in-laws' house, she is respecting the seniors and loving the juniors, and the relation with so many others, family members. But her relation with the husband is special. Similarly, we have so many gods and goddesses, but my chosen ideal may be Krishna, may be Durga, may be Kali, may be Ganesha, that is separate. And you will find that when the people they are going over there in the Hindu temple, they will give one flower to all the gods and goddesses, but a garland for his chosen ideal. as a good girl, that he saves for the chosen idol. He will give it to Ganesha or to Krishna or to this. So that is the way it goes, nothing wrong. And here it says, the Nasadiya Sukta, it says it is completely formless. Purusha Sukta says it may have the form. So form and formless. Here comes the Madhvacharya. With all these things, Madhva says, there is a Vyavaharika Satya, empirical reality, and the Paramarthika Satya, absolute reality. Vyavaharika and Paramarthika. We always say each soul is potentially divine, quoting Vivekananda. And each and every human being is nothing but the manifestation, special manifestation of God. So, as Swami Vivekananda said, the tabernacle, moving tabernacle, the moving Taj Mahal, like that, he said, the human being. When Swami was giving the talk on this, then the one gentleman raised a hand and said, suppose a burglar entered into my house, how I am going to treat him? As God? Then he said, of course, by calling 911. That is the way you should worship the thief God. So the thief is God, of course, but his treatment, his way of worship is different. So that is called Paramarthika and Vyavaharika. When I know that tiger is also having that divinity, shall I go and embrace the tiger? I know in the Vedanta and in the Hinduism they say, Apa Narayana, any water is Narayana. Because from the Narayana all this thing was created. Apa Narayana. Does it mean that I can take the dirty water for worship or for drinking? It is not possible. So Vyavaharika, in the externally when I am behaving, accordingly I should behave. And Paramarthika, the truth is truth. That should not be deviated from there. And Dvaita Vedanta, the Madhva considered the personal God, the Vyavaharika Satya, as the main. This is the difference. After all this thing, now we come to this Madhva philosophy. He is telling, he is accepting only three mode of judgment, and that is the Pratyaksha, Anuman and Shabda, the scripture. But he concludes that there are two aspects, Vyavaharika and Paramarthika, but the Paramarthika, that is secondary. Vyavaharika is first. So Vishnu is his Brahman. He said, the Vishnu is my Brahman. So Dvaita metaphysics divide things in two. One is Swatantra, another is Paratantra. Swatantra means absolutely free reality, and that is Vishnu. From there, Vaishnavism. And Asatantra, they are depending, including the Lakshmi, who is all the time associated with the Vishnu. The Lakshmi and all the Jivas are all depending on that Vishnu. So Vishnu is the absolute. He said in that way, God is personal but has no physical body, no anthropomorphic form. He is all pervading, he is Vishnu. He is also called as Hari, Narayana, Purushottama, Krishna, Vasudeva. He is not only the creator, destroyer of this universe, but also controller in each and every one of its aspects. He is full of infinite, auspicious attributes as described in the scriptures. He is Shaktiman and all these things. The God is all powerful, God is omnipotent, omniscient, all attributes. So he said these are all his power. He is the essence of all perfection. Maya, in his Achinta Shakti, Maya means that this Maya, the word which is in the Veda, Shankaracharya used it to explain all this thing that you see is the cause of Maya, illusion. He said, no, It is the power of God. And with this power, he is only doing it, by which he performs all the cosmic activities. Now he said grace is one of the most important of his attributes. The grace, that kripa, kripa, kripa. In the Vaishnavism, in the bhakti, it is only kripa. Kripa hi kevalam, kripa hi kevalam. The people, they will go, if you go to the South Indian temple, and the South Indian people, they will hold the ears in this way, and they will sit up and down, and sometimes they will lie on that, kripa, kripa, kripa. I am a fool, I have done so many mistakes, please. And then they will make like this, I am beating myself, please forgive me, kripa, kripa, kripa. And Madhva, he has a symbol. If you find any person having a B on his forehead, he is a Madhva follower. In the India, they always do like that. The Madhva followers is having only a B. Dvaita. The God is there, I am here, I am completely different from God. So that is Dvaita. In this Hindu temple I saw, they have made the symbol, but in between there is another red one that is endowed with Shakti, the power. The symbol, if you do not understand the symbol, is very difficult in South India temples. If you go, the South Indian temples are all full of this. So Hinduism is all this. Not that that is Hinduism, but only to understand that it becomes easy for you. So that is called the Maya. The grace is the most important of his attributes that helps a jiva devoted to him to be redeemed. He can incarnate himself as an avatara, and all the avatars are equal, though the manifestation of his power may be different. So this is all Madhvas. Most of the Hindus, we follow this. The Madhva categories the jiva. Now this is a very important. The jiva, what is jiva? In the Vyadarayana, Vedavyasa, he said Ga. Means the person who can know, who can understand. But here he says there are three different categories in the jiva. One is Mukti Yagya. He is capable to get the liberation. This is one category. And second, it says Nitya Samsarin. Their mind is always bound in this samsara, name, fame, this, that goes on. So Nitya Samsarin, eternally transmigrating ones. And Tama Yagya, third is, never in Hinduism it was, but he introduced Tama Yagya, that is, damned ones. They have no chance for liberation. So here the difference between Shankara and this. This, in the Christianity we find eternal damnation. That if you have done some mistake, there is no way. You have to suffer all through for how many lives we do not know in the hell. So eternal damnation. To create a fear among the people. Actually, one or two little mistakes that we have done. Actually, for that, what I have to do to get beyond? Go and donate in that way, that way. So all the temples are coming up because of this conception. If you do not pay, then you are going to have this. Oh my God, is it? $100 is sufficient, let us give. So like this, they are going on giving like that. The conception is eternal condemnation. But who is suffering? A conscious being, a jiva. The moment he transforms, it is over. I did some mistake, what is there? So let me conclude. After this, he said, Swami Vivekananda said, this wall never steals. That cow never tells the lies. But the cow remains cow, an animal. Though it has not uttered a falsehood, any single, that wall remains that wall only, even though it has not done anything wrong. Human being, they do wrong things, but the ones they decide, I am going to be pure, I am going to be good. Once only they decide, then it is free. Now, this moment he said that the God, the grace. Now, how can there be eternal condemnation? That cannot be. The person goes to the God and say, I did many mistakes, I am sorry. I will try my best not to repeat this. Is the God's grace will surely come. So that is the hope, they always say. And what is the moksha? The jiva is in samsara or in bondage due to avidya or ignorance, induced in him by God. Now we are in the samsara. The samsara means samyak sarati yasa samsara. Constantly changing, constantly changing. And today I was like this, and tomorrow I will be like this, and then it will be like this. We do not know. Constantly everything is changing. We can never imagine in 1892 when Swami Vivekananda came over here in America, there was not a single Indian. Now it is more than 200,000 Indians over here. I think so, more than that. So obviously, how it is changing? The world is constantly changing. A time was there when everyone wanted to go to India because India was very developed in both, in the monetarily and also in the knowledge. So different type of people used to go. Even the person, the Columbus, by mistake he came over here. He wanted to go to India. So anyway, and now Indians are coming over here. Why? Change. So it is constantly changing. So this says the jiva means it is called samsara. Constantly changing means samsara. And who is doing it? God. And how to go beyond these changes? If you feel, most of the people don't feel like this. So they don't like to. One person was asking how to get peace. I knew that person. So I just wanted to have some fun with him. He was a person, every time he will go and fight with this man, that man, all the time. And he was an elderly person. That I told, you want peace? I said, yes. Do you have any house? He said, yes. But the voice lowered down. Then how many floors are there in the house? 3 or 4. You give the 3 to me, 75% peace you will get. And when you die, give the last one, then 100% peace. He said, I don't need that peace. So naturally, it goes like this. I don't want to give anything that I am holding over here, but still I want peace. No. You have to give everything. What is that? Your ahamkara. The tyage naike amritattamana suhu, they say. Unless and until you give up, you cannot get. What is that amritatta? What is that amritatta? Eternal peace, happiness. But we are not ready to give. So obviously, when he is telling grace is necessary to get the peace, that is our Madhvacharya. The contribution of the Dvaita, this Vedanta of Madhva to Indian philosophy tradition is considerable. He really did a great task for the Dvaita philosophy. And this is the philosophy. In conclusion, God is there, God is personal, and impersonal God is also there, but is secondary. And jivas, they are bound, completely separate from God, but can get liberation with the grace of God. So you have to be constantly devoted to God. So that is his, in brief, Madhva's philosophy. Majority of the Hindus, they follow Madhva's philosophy. And there is also a group of people who are following Ramanuja's philosophy. In next Sunday, we will discuss about the philosophy of Ramanuja. That is Vishishta Advaita, qualified monism. Now let us conclude with Madhva's God, that is Vishnu. And this Vishnu, he is quiet and calm because he is creating. And in that creation, there is only sattva, no tama or raja. So he is lying on the yoga. Yoga is that snake is the symbol of yoga. So he is sleeping on the big snake. Bashu, what is that? Huh? Bashu? Basuki, right. Basuki. Basuki with 1,000, that's called Basuki. On that, he is sleeping, Vishnu. And the Basuki is floating on water. So they're all symbolism. The water is the symbol of without form, and the snake is the symbol of yoga. And Vishnu, the God, he is actually giving the call to all the jivas. So Shankha, and the chakra to cut all the bondages, Gada to give the punishment, and Padma through devotion. So Shankha, Chakra, Gadadhar, Padma. Shankha, Chakra, Gada and Padma. These are the four hands. This is a symbol. Through devotion, you can approach him and he will cut your bondage and he will get his person, the Vishnu. Shantakaram Bhujagashayanam Padmanabham Suresham. So Shura, Isha. Isha means the God. Shura means God. So he is the God of all gods. And he is very calm and composed. And he is lying on a Bhujanga, that is the snake. Vishwadharam Gagana Sadrisham Meghabarnam Shubhangam. He is Meghavarna, like the color of it's actually dark color. So we cannot understand, so dark color. Vishwadharan, he is the holder of the whole universe, and he is Gagana Sadrisha, though the person, but all pervading. Lakshmi Kantam Kamalanayanam Yogi Vidhyanagamyam. Only those who are meditating, they can see him within their heart. He is the master of the Lakshmi, and Kamalanayana, his eyes are full of compassion. Bande Vishnum Bhava Bhayaharam Sarvalokaikanatham. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om.